Welcome to Living Your Senior Life. We're Mark and Debbie, and we're here to help you navigate the journey of aging with practical tips, honest conversations, and solutions that actually work. Today, we're tackling a topic that affects almost everyone as we age: clutter. But this isn't just about tidying up or making your home look nicer. We're talking about the items in your home that could actually be putting your safety at risk. From tripping hazards hiding in plain sight to expired medications lurking in your cabinet. We're covering 10 specific things you should declutter right now for a safer, simpler home. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by the thought of decluttering, don't worry. We're breaking this down into manageable steps, and you might be surprised at how much of a difference even small changes can make in both your safety and your peace of mind. So grab a cup of coffee or your favorite tea, get comfortable, and let's explore how clearing out the right things can help you live more safely and simply in the home you love.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're taking the sources you've shared with us and really distilling them into the knowledge you need without all the hours of reading. And today, we are wading into a topic that, on the surface, seems simple, but it's actually crucial for health, for safety, and for, peace of mind.
It really is.
We're talking about decluttering. And this isn't about getting your home to look like it's in a magazine. It's about optimizing your living space so it actually supports your life today.
Right. And it's so important to understand right away that this deep dive is, it's rooted in science, not just aesthetics.
Exactly.
We were just floored by the research showing that adults in cluttered homes get this 32% higher levels of cortisol.
32%.
Yeah. That's the stress hormone. And a spike like that puts this constant sort of invisible weight on the body. It affects everything from your sleep to your cardiovascular health.
Wow. I mean, a 32% increase.
Yeah.
That's a huge measurable impact.
Yeah.
It really proves that clutter isn't just a physical problem, it's a psychological one.
Absolutely.
One of our readers, Martha, who's 72, she put it perfectly. After she cleared out her spare room, she said the physical piles felt like a mental burden. And the second they were gone, she felt an immediate weight lifted from her mind.
And that feeling, that mental relief, it lines up perfectly with the big UCLA study. It drew a direct line between a cluttered environment and a lower mood, even diminished self-esteem.
So our mission today is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We want to help you bypass that massive feeling of being overwhelmed. We're going to focus on the 10 most impactful categories, the ones that give you the biggest physical relief, improve your safety, and just help you find a little more joy in your home every day.
Okay, so let's start with a core guideline, a kind of mantra to hold on to.
I like that. A mantra. What is it?
The research suggests this objective assessment. If you haven't used it in a year, if you don't truly love it, or if you completely forgot you even owned it,
It's probably safe to let it go.
it is probably safe to let it go. And that framework is so crucial because starting is, for so many people, the biggest hurdle. You look at a whole house and your brain it shuts down.
It freezes. Exactly. You see this monumental task and you just don't know where to begin. But the source material is brilliant on this, focusing on what it calls quick start wins.
Right.
These are tasks you can do in 15 minutes or less, and they give you an immediate safety boost and, just as importantly, a mental boost.
Building that momentum is the secret. It really is. When you get that first quick win, you get a little hit of confidence, a feeling of control, and that's what prepares you for the next step.
Okay, so we've got 5 of these 15-minute challenges for you. Number 1, clear the medicine cabinet. Huge. Immediate safety impact right there.
Huge.
Number 2, tackle one junk drawer. It's a small space, but a really big mental boost. Perfect for building that confidence we were talking about.
And you can see the result instantly. It's tangible proof that you can do this.
Exactly. 3rd, sort through 1 week of mail, get it shredded, get it filed. You prevent the next pile up before it starts. 4th, declutter your kitchen counters. Just keep the daily use stuff out. It makes cooking so much easier right away. And number 5, pull just 5 items from your closet you haven't worn in a year.
Just 5.
Just 5. Bag them up and put them in the car to donate right now. That's instant space and a win for somebody else.
And these small actions, they can have a dramatic impact on quality of life. We saw it in the reader stories you sent us. Robert, 71, said that after he just focused on clearing walkways, a classic 15-minute win, he hasn't fallen once in 6 months.
Wow. That's a direct safety link you just can't ignore.
You can. And the mental health connection is just as strong. William, who's 76, he said his doctor literally noticed the difference after he organized his home. His blood pressure actually dropped.
So stress reduction really is powerful medicine.
It really is. And, as a little bonus, Carol, 69, found $200 in unused gift cards hiding in her paper clutter.
Huh. So organizing can literally pay off.
It can.
All right, so we've got some momentum. Let's dig into the high-impact areas the research says to prioritize. And we are starting with Category 1, medications and medical supplies.
This is, without a doubt, the #1 priority for safety. When you clear out expired prescriptions or, duplicate bottles, you drastically reduce the risk of taking the wrong medication. It's a very common hazard.
And the emotional weight here it's intense. We heard from Jane, 68, who said that disposing of her late husband's medications was what finally allowed her to start healing. It turned the medicine cabinet from this painful reminder into just a functional space.
That's a side of it that's often overlooked, isn't it? The emotional labor of keeping things tied to past illness or loss. When you clear them out, you're clearing that emotional baggage, too.
So the action step here is basically mandatory. Gather all the medications from every room, check the dates, and use a safe disposal program.
And let's slow down on that safety detail for a second because it's so important. You should never, ever flush medications or just throw them in the trash.
Why is that?
It can harm the water supply, or it could be found by pets or even children. You have to use a safe disposal program. You can find them at most pharmacies, community drop-off days, even local police departments have them.
But what about that resistance? That little voice that says, but what if I need this again? How do we get past that?
That is a great question. The reality is, expired medicine is a safety hazard, not a safety net. If you truly need a prescription again, a doctor is going to write you a fresh, effective, and safe one. You aren't keeping yourself safe by holding on to old drugs. You're actually putting yourself at risk.
That's a really powerful reframe. Okay, let's move to Category 2, paper clutter and documents. If medications are a physical risk, paper is a mental one. Paper stacks they scream at you, as one reader, Bob, put it. They represent all these unfinished tasks.
Exactly. And the key here is to empower yourself to quickly know what's trash and what's vital. I mean, being able to find important financial or medical papers in an emergency is absolutely essential.
The sources gave us an incredibly helpful retention guide. This alone could empty half your file drawers.
Okay, break it down for us. What do we have to keep forever?
Keep forever. Birth certificates, wills, property deeds, things like that. The really important stuff. Keep for 7 years. Tax returns and all their supporting documents. That's the IRS rule.
Okay.
And here's the big one. Keep for only 1 year. Bank statements, investment statements, and utility bills, unless you need them for taxes. After that, they're pretty much just noise.
That clarity is a game changer. And the action step here has to include protecting your identity. You must shred anything with account numbers, social security numbers, anything personal. Just make simple piles. Keep, shred, and recycle.
All right, let's pivot to the heart of the home. Category 3, kitchen items. This is where so much daily frustration can build up. If your cabinets are overflowing, it just makes cooking a healthy meal feel like a chore.
Oh, kitchens are magnets for duplicates, aren't they? Duplicate utensils, those specialty gadgets you used one time, chipped plates, that mountain of mismatched Tupperware.
Huh, the Tupperware avalanche.
Oh, exactly. And when just finding a frying pan becomes a frustrating search, you start to avoid the kitchen.
So you've got to review the rarely used appliances,
Yeah.
the expired pantry items, and all those duplicates. And here's a fantastic pro tip from the source material.
Okay.
If you're on the fence about an item, put a small piece of painter's tape on it. If that tape is still there in 3 months, you didn't use it.
And you can donate it. That takes all the emotion out of it. That's genius.
It really is.
And speaking of the kitchen, we have to talk about physical safety. A huge tip is to store your heaviest items like cast iron pans, big mixing bowls at waist level or below.
Right. So you're not straining or reaching up high, maybe standing on a step stool with a heavy object, which is a major, major fall risk.
Exactly. Okay, moving on to Category 4, clothing. This is about so much more than neatness. This is about supporting the person you are today. Holding on to clothes that don't fit just creates this cycle of guilt and frustration every single morning.
That guilt is so powerful. We hang on to clothes from a past job or a past size, instead of just focusing on what makes us feel comfortable and confident right now.
For sure. To make it simple, use the hanger trick. Turn all the hangers in your closet backward. When you wear something, put it back with the hanger facing forward.
So after 6 months?
After 6 months, anything still hanging backward is something you can probably donate. It's objective proof of what you actually wear.
That is such an elegant solution. It helps you let go of that aspirational clothing that just causes daily stress.
Okay, let's tackle Category 5, Old technology. This one seems kind of harmless, but those drawers full of old remotes and tangled cords and outdated phones, they cause a lot of confusion, and they can even be a security risk.
We all have that drawer, right? The drawer of mystery cords. But the security piece is what's really crucial here. We have to protect our data.
Absolutely. Before you recycle or donate an old phone or a computer or a tablet, you have to wipe it, do a factory reset, take out the SIM card. For computers, use certified data destruction software. Never, ever skip that step.
And if you're worried about losing photos or files, the solution is easy. Back it all up to an external drive or the cloud first. Then you can get rid of the device with total peace of mind.
Right.
Okay, before we get to the really emotional stuff, let's quickly touch on a few other categories that tend to hide away in closets.
Yes. These are the ones that take up a ton of space, but you kind of forget they're even there until you trip over them.
Category 6, linens, towels, and bedding. What are we looking for here?
Stains, worn out items, things that are just scratchy now. You only really need 2 sets of sheets per bed and a reasonable stack of good towels. Donate the rest to an animal shelter. They always need them.
Good tip. And category 8, old media. CDs, DVDs, VHS tapes, and all those books you know you're not going to read again.
These take up so much room, and almost all of it is available digitally now. If you don't even own a VCR anymore, the tapes need to go. Books are great to donate to a local library where someone else can enjoy them.
And finally, category 9, tools and hardware. That coffee can full of random screws, old paint cans, 3 of the same wrench.
The stress here is trying to find the right screw and having to dig through 1,000 wrong ones. Consolidate your hardware, get rid of those half-empty paint cans at a hazardous waste event, and toss the manuals for things you don't even own anymore.
Okay, now we're entering the tough part. The most challenging category, but also the one with the greatest emotional reward. Category 7, sentimental items.
This is where we have to be really kind to ourselves. Proceed slowly with a lot of compassion.
There's a core insight from one of the readers, Patricia, 82, that it really stuck with us. She said, the memory lives in the heart, not the object.
We should just pause on that for a second. That is so freeing. The physical thing itself doesn't hold the value of the relationship or the memory. And this is the hardest area, it really is. It often requires talking through the stories behind the objects.
So how do you make the decision without getting stuck in guilt? The source has provided a really great decision tree to guide you.
Okay. There are 4 key questions to ask yourself. 1, does this item bring me actual joy when I see it, or does it bring guilt?
That's a big one.
2, would I save this in a fire? Is it truly irreplaceable? 3, can I share this story about this person or this memory without needing to hold the physical object? And 4, and this is maybe the most important, is keeping this thing preventing me from using this space to live my best life today?
That last question is everything. And we have to confront the biggest source of guilt head on. My mother gave me this feeling.
Oh, absolutely. Your mother, your father, your spouse, they wanted you to enjoy the gift. They didn't want it to become a burden in a box in the attic for 15 years. They would want you to choose peace for yourself, not guilt.
And there are creative alternatives, too. You can digitize old letters, take beautiful photos of items, or even make a memory quilt. You can honor the connection without the clutter.
Okay, finally, we hit the last major hurdle. Category 10, the just-in-case items. This category is pure anxiety. It's all driven by what-if thinking, and it just wastes so much space and energy.
We call this paying an insurance premium with your living space.
That's a great way to put it. And the framework here is super pragmatic. Just ask yourself, if I needed this item later, could I borrow it, rent it, or replace it for a reasonable cost?
And for most of those things, extra tools, duplicate kitchen gadgets, the answer is almost always yes.
Almost always. And Margaret, 69, she summed it up perfectly. She said, after I got rid of my just-in-cases stuff, I realized something amazing. I never needed any of them. Not once. But I gained space and freedom from all that what-if thinking.
The key is just distinguishing that from real emergency preparedness.
Right? Exactly. You need to keep your 72-hour kit, your first aid supplies, your spare glasses. That's essential. This is about the random, maybe one-day clutter that just fills up the closets.
So we've covered the 10 most impactful categories. From the immediate safety wins like medications to the really emotional ones like sentimental items. Let's just synthesize the overall impact all this has on your daily life.
Yeah, the sources really point to 3 massive overarching benefits. First, improved mobility. Clear floors and hallways directly reduce fall risk, which is a huge concern. Using a cane or a walker becomes so much safer when you aren't navigating an obstacle course.
Second benefit, Reduced stress. Less clutter means less time searching for your keys or important papers, fewer of those unfinished tasks nagging at you, and it leads to better sleep. All of that helps lower those cortisol levels we talked about at the start.
And third is a renewed sense of control and confidence. When your home is a support system, not a source of stress, your whole well-being improves. Helen, 73, told us, "My home feels lighter and so do I. I feel like I'm in charge again."
Which brings up a really practical question. When is it time to call for help? Because this doesn't have to be a stressful solo project.
The signs are pretty clear. If you feel totally paralyzed by it all, if you have physical limitations that make it hard, if you're on a tight deadline, like downsizing, or if the emotional pain is just too much, it's really wise to bring in a professional.
And we're talking about people like senior move managers, professional organizers, even estate sale companies who can handle all the logistics.
And here's a stat that really changes the equation. The research shows that people who get professional help finish these big projects 3 times faster and with way less personal stress.
3 times faster.
That speed and stress reduction can be absolutely priceless.
At the end of the day, though, the sources remind us that pacing is everything. A safe, manageable pace is just one room or one category per week. A full declutter might take 2 to 3 months done that way. The goal is progress, not some impossible standard of perfection.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. It builds on this idea of opening up new possibilities. If the goal here isn't just keeping things, but keeping memories while gaining freedom, what is one small thing, a keepsake, a letter that you could photograph today and lovingly release tomorrow that would make physical space for a new experience in your home?
That is a powerful invitation. Start that process. Choose peace over burden. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. And go take that 15-minute challenge today.
Well, that's our list of 10 things seniors should declutter for a safer, simpler home. We know that letting go of belongings can be emotional, and we're not suggesting you get rid of everything you love. This is about being strategic, removing the things that pose real safety risks or create unnecessary stress in your daily life. Remember, you don't have to tackle everything at once. Pick one area from our list, maybe those throw rugs or that overflowing medication cabinet, and start there. Small progress is still progress, and every item you remove is one less thing to worry about. If you want more details, specific product recommendations, or a printable checklist to help you get started, head over to livingyourSeniorLife.com, where you'll find our complete article with all the resources you need. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow the podcast so you don't miss upcoming episodes. And if you have a friend or family member who might benefit from these tips, please share this podcast with them. And as always, until next time, take care of yourself and live your best senior life.